interested in losing a few inches, you want to shrink down some of those fat cells, then you've turned into the perfect program. Follow me into Amherst Laser and Wellness Center so together we can do this. But first, let's hear from some of our sponsors.
I'm Kathleen Maxian with the Western New York Ovarian Cancer Project, and we're a proud sponsor of Health Matters. Our mission is to educate the Western New York community on the symptoms and risks of ovarian cancer. We also have supportive programs for women who have ovarian cancer, including professionally facilitated support groups, our Cancer Answers workshop, and our signature Comfort and Hope Tote program. Continue to watch Health Matters, and we'll continue to educate you on ovarian cancer.
Amherst Laser and Wellness is a proud sponsor of Health Matters. I'm Teresa Horab, registered nurse and owner of Amherst Laser and Wellness. We look forward to moving you in a healthier direction through our laser lipo and nutritional counseling. So follow us and continue to watch Health Matters on your journey to wellness.
Dent Neurologic Institute is proud to support Health Matters. Dent Neurologic Institute offers neurologic education, state-of-the-art diagnostics, and cutting-edge clinical research. If you or someone you know is looking for more information, visit our website at dentinstitute.com.
Teresa, it is so wonderful to be here. At the moment I walked in, I just feel so comfortable and so warm and so welcoming. You have left no detail unattended to.
Thank you, thank you. Well, it's really a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, thank you, thank you. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in this. I know that a little bit, this is a wonderful story to hear.
Well, thank you. Well, you know, Anna Marie, I actually wanted to be a nurse ever since I was a little girl. It was like a dream of mine. And after going through nursing school, I did the traditional route, which was get a job right away. And I was very blessed to be working at Children's Hospital for my first job. Yeah.
Wow.
And I delivered babies for probably about 16 years of that career.
Oh my goodness.
So it was a miracle every day.
Oh.
It was a wonderful career. As many nurses, I traveled around the hospital in different positions, a lot of educational roles. I love to educate. It's very powerful, right? Knowledge is power, they say.
Well, see, now she's talking my language again.
That's right.
And I say only if you act on it.
This is true.
Which we're going to get to, too.
This is true. And one of my other positions was I was the poison control educator for Western New York.
Wow.
I worked in the operating room, so there were a lot of different roles I took on as a nurse. Loved my job. But, you know, as many of us, things happen in our lives, and sometimes our journeys get rerouted.
How about that?
Yes, yes. So about 10 years ago, my mom, who was 64 years old, she was my babysitter. It was wonderful. She cooked, cleaned, ironed my husband's shirts, and babysat for me. She just rolled out of bed one day, just like that, had a massive stroke.
Wow.
Yeah, she was young, like 64.
Wow.
So my sisters and I bonded together and decided to keep our mom at home with the help of our dad, and that required a lot of care. She was full care. So for me, that meant coming home and, as my husband would say, taking care of the people who meant the most at the time, and that was my family. So I came home and took care of my mom along with my sisters, and about 8 years later, you know, I was still taking care of my mom.
Wow.
Yes, yes.
Wow. So
yeah, it was actually a real honor to be able to do that. But during that time, I have to tell you, I was thinking of all these different things that maybe I would do someday. And I really did collect a lot of different knowledge, not only being a nurse, but being a caretaker of my family, as well as being kind of like the patient advocate for my mom.
Yes, and you know, so many viewers who are watching today are in a similar situation, as especially as us baby boomers, you know, who are still blessed to have our parents with us, find ourselves in a caretaking position. So how I love your positive attitude, how you've taken the challenges in your life and turned them into something so beautiful.
Yes. Well, you know what are our options, right? So after my mom passed away, I kind of sat back thinking about, now that, you know, what am I going to do now that I'm all grown up and then some? I had all this, what I felt was knowledge, you know, to share. So I decided it was really always a dream of mine to have a wellness center. Most of my career, I was taking care of people who were sick, trying to fix them after the fact. And I always thought, my goodness, what if I could go to the end and work it backwards?
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
And take care of people in terms of prevention, so that they didn't have to endure those things that our family had to endure.
Absolutely, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing here, how you've come to, well, actually how you've come into it and what you're doing here is so exciting.
Yes. Well, right now we are at 100 College Parkway, which we are absolutely loving. It's such a beautiful environment here. We've tried to make it very cozy, as you put it.
Well, let me say you didn't try, you did. Like that, what's his name, Yoda in Star Wars. I love quoting him. They say, you don't try, you try or not, you do, and you are doing.
Well, thank you.
It's beautiful here.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Well, you know, I've always had a soft spot for women's health because I worked a lot with women at Children's Hospital. And I always had a desire to help people with weight. I have a lot of family members. I mean, there are too many people that don't have a little extra weight that they wish they could take off.
You know,
right?
I think the statistics are staggering.
Yes.
And it's only going to get worse, as I understand when I'm watching some of these programs that talk about our children coming up as well.
That's
so
right.
that's why I myself am very excited about what's going on here. It's going to be one of those, like, I won't mention those commercials on TV where they say, and I'm a client too, so keep watching.
Yes, yes. And you know, we all love to look good. We all love to look our best, but you know, as a nurse, I see things just a little bit differently. When I see somebody that's carrying a little extra weight in their belly, I see somebody that maybe has the potential to have a little risk for cardiac disease, diabetes, cancer. When I see somebody with a little extra more weight in the belly, I see a little bit more risk for those things. So I really see this as a lot of health benefits, but at the end of the day, you know, how we feel about ourselves and see ourselves and how our mind feels as well as our body, the two together are really the bundle of joy, right?
It really is. It really, and I love the way you said that, because it's not just about looking good, and especially as I approach getting older and thinking about my parents and children coming up and all that, it is the health risks. It's the health risk now, and there's this mantra that I've been using, and it's like quality of life. What is the quality of my life? And that's why I've been more focused. Well, for quite some time, I couldn't exercise from a major car accident, but I have been back to exercising and working out, and I know that I'm going to be coming and visiting you too.
Well, and you know, I have to tell you that actually, your story is a very common theme that I hear here. Everybody seems to know what to do or know what they should be doing, but sometimes it's their ability to put that all together. And that's what I want to promote here, is the fact that we try our best to put things together for people to make it doable, not only to achieve goals, but most importantly to be able to attain them and as well as sustain
and
them.
assist. I was thinking assist, because you are assisting people to help this process, if I could say, and it's my opinion, speed up too. Because what I understand about your laser, your lipo laser, tell us about that, because that's what I want to hear more about too.
Yes. Well, you know, I will tell you that this is the type of treatment that goes absolutely best in conjunction with a healthy lifestyle. I absolutely promote good nutrition and exercise and activity throughout your day. But you know, there are a lot of times when people do change those things and they just don't get the results they're looking for. And it gets a little bit discouraging.
Do you think that is because as we're getting a little older too and less active?
Absolutely. And it's not even just about getting older. Look at our lifestyles. A lot of people are sitting at desks, and You know, even our own children are sitting a lot more than we used to as children. We were always out
Yes,
running around and playing.
They would say, go on outside and play. Now people are just
That's
in front
right.
of their TVs or on their computers, although some of those games have finally gotten smarter and they're doing them to be more active. Thank goodness.
That's right. But, you know, nothing beats running around and getting some exercise. So with all that said, though, you know, there are times when we might, you know, go down that journey but not get the results maybe that we're looking for as fast as we need them to keep ourselves motivated. So what I'm able to do is, in conjunction with a healthy lifestyle, is assist people to lose some inches and fat, actually, and we'll explain that in a little bit more detailed. But what I find is it helps people to get a little bit more motivated, helps them buy into the healthier lifestyle, and things like that.
Wow, that's awesome. Yes, it's really the truth. So when somebody comes in, take us through the process of what will occur.
Sure. Well, first of all, the biggest problem is the fact that we have fat cells, right?
Yeah.
So fat cells do not multiply, they just get bigger. And when they get bigger, we get bigger. We can't,
Well said.
Yeah, we can't necessarily determine where they're going to land, but you know, if you look back at your family members, there's probably you'll have a good idea where they're going to land if they haven't already. And we also, through nutrition and exercise, can't necessarily determine where they're going to come off. In fact, sometimes they come off where we don't want them to, and not where we want them to. What I'm able to do with the technology is pretty much mimic exercise. See, when we exercise, the fat cell, which is composed of 3 different fluids, glycerol, fatty acid, and water, they're kind of like little balloons throughout the body. When we exercise, that fat cell heats up, the membrane around it becomes a bit porous, if you will, allowing that fluid to weep out. As the fluid weeps out, the cell shrinks. As the cell shrinks, we shrink. But as I said, when we're exercising, we can't say, you know, right here, right here. No, it comes off where, you know, where we don't want it to. But with the technology, we're able to take the technology and place it right on the problematic area.
Wow. And this is a cold laser. When you say the technology,
That's
this is a
right.
cold laser, so it's painless.
That's
no
right.
surgery.
That's right.
And you can shrink those fat cells. Like, does it get any better than that?
Yes.
I almost want to say, we'll be right back. I'm going to get a treatment.
Well, and that's one of the reasons as a nurse I love this, because there's no surgery, there's no pain, there's no downtime. You know, usually in medicine, unfortunately, there's always side effects and ill effects to different treatments.
Yes.
So I had to kind of wrap my brain around this a little bit. It's a little bit different and certainly much more inviting to alternatives.
And as a nurse, that gives you even more credentials and that you studied this stuff, that you've seen this stuff work, that you've done your research on it. Not only have you seen it work on your own self and your family and your friends
That's right.
around you, and your husband being a pharmacist too, you're both in this together in the medical aspect and knowing what's really great holistically too.
That's right.
Wow.
And I do want to mention, you know, this procedure is FDA approved. It's actually FDA approved for fat loss as well as something called neuropathy.
Oh.
Neuropathy is nerve pain, very, very difficult thing to treat. Very painful for people who have it. Actually, we're going to start treating people with neuropathy probably within the next month.
That is very good to know.
But there's a lot of science behind this, a lot of research. We certainly would not have taken this on had there not been that in place. As you mentioned, my husband's a pharmacist and I'm a nurse. We have chosen in our own home to try to live healthy with alternatives, and it's not that we're against medication or hospitalizations when needed, but you know, there's also that overuse and abuse, and there's that fine line of times that you could maybe use something more natural, an alternative,
Yes.
For just as better, sometimes even better results with no side effects.
Absolutely, 100%. Because oftentimes the medications that we're taking too, they may correct one thing, but then they have side effects. So many different side effects that are very
That's right.
damaging to our bodies. And then to know that, you know, I mean, long time ago it was liposuction. And I remember when I first heard about that, I thought, oh, I might try that. And then I saw a video on like the real thing happening, and I thought, no way will I put my body through that.
Yes.
So to hear about this cold laser that is painless, that can zero in on some of these areas that, you know, I'd like to see get a little smaller, I'm excited.
Yes. And so as that cell shrinks, that fluid weeps out into your lymph system. Your lymph system is like your human sewer system. And from the lymph system, it then goes on to the liver. Your liver's like your human filter. And of course from there, it gets passed out the back door, if you will. We don't see it, it doesn't change anything, but it goes in, just like
cute.
when we exercise.
Ah, yes. I like that, goes out the back door. We all know what that means.
That's right.
Another very important part of staying healthy.
That's right. So there really aren't a lot of restrictions or requirements, but as I mentioned and will continue to mention, it works best in conjunction with a healthy lifestyle. Also, we would ask people to make sure they increase their activity level. When I open up the cell is open up for about 48 hours. So for that 40-hour period, we want people to optimize on the treatment by eating healthier, making sure their activity level is increased, lots of water, because we want to flush the fat. And some of our patients choose to do a little bit of a colon cleanse just to get things out a little bit faster so they don't find their way back home.
Right.
Yeah.
You got some really cute sayings. I like that. So they don't find their way back home. You know, I talk about this all the time, and it's amazing to me how many of you have written to me and said, but I don't like water. Our bodies are, like 2/3 or something like, or even more?
Oh yeah, even more so. And you know, water is so essential to our day and our health. People are actually hospitalized because they're dehydrated. Our bodies are actually made to do the right thing, Anna Marie, but it's a lot of it has to do with what we're putting in our bodies, whether it's the nutrition part or the hydration part. We function much better when we're fed well and hydrated well. Everything from our digestion to our mental acuity and so forth, our ability to fight disease. So water really is a very important part of the day. Although I find that a lot of people just aren't water drinkers.
I know, isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
It's amazing that people are still drinking soda and diet soda. I used to be hooked to diet soda when I was in my 20s, which wasn't too long ago, but it was a while ago. And when I see young people, like children 10, 11 years old ordering a Diet Coke, I cringe because that stuff is so damaging to our bodies.
It is. It's very unhealthy. It takes about 21 days to change a habit. So a lot of our patients are here with us anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks, depending on, you know, how much they want to engage in the process, which allows me to help them, let's say, get rid of some bad habits and acquire some good habits. Drinking water is one of them. You'll see through our treatments that we have a little headset on when you're getting your treatment, and that's because I wanted to do everything I could for the patient to optimize on the actual technology of the laser lipo. And I understand and know that your body goes where your mind thinks. You see, if you were little and your mom always said, you know, Anna Maria, you're so clumsy. Anna Maria, you're so clumsy. Anna Maria grows up to be clumsy because it's in your mind and you think you have to act out what you're supposed to be.
Exactly.
So what I try to teach the patients here, well, first of all, I tell them, stop looking in the mirror and badgering yourself. You're going to sabotage the whole process. What you need to do is get a photo of yourself when you were really feeling good about yourself.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Put it up on the mirror where you're maybe brushing your teeth morning and evening and night so that you can really focus in on that, and your body will go where your mind is. One of the things that I've done here to help people with that, I went to California and met with a psychologist named Dr. Patrick Porter. He does a lot of different programs, smoking cessation, weight management, stress management, and I purchased all of his programs.
Wow.
Yep.
And so everybody's listening to those when they're laying there.
That's right.
That is so smart. You know what's so amazing about you is that you're not just saying this is one thing, like take this pill or do this and everything's cured. You are treating mind, body, spirit.
That's
That
right.
is so beautiful.
Yes.
That's beautiful. So now after they're on the table doing that, I know they go into the next room.
That's right.
Yes, I've heard a lot about some of our famous motivational people talk about he's on that thing a lot, but I'm going to let you talk about I say that thing. We'll let her explain what that is.
Yes. Well, there's a requirement. Once I open up that cell and the fluid starts weeping out, now our job is to mobilize that fat. We want to get you shaking, moving, because we want that to go to the lymph, to the liver, and out. So the requirement is within a 2-hour period of the treatment to do some form of exercise. Now, I knew a lot of people wouldn't leave here and go exercise, really, because some people come on their lunchtime. That's why we call it lunchtime lipo.
Yeah.
And some people come in, or maybe they have to leave here and go take care of families. So I didn't want that being a failing point for people. So I brought in a machine called a HyperVibe. It's actually awesome, very, very therapeutic. It's a vibrating platform. It is going to increase your lymphatic system, so we're going to start mobilizing that fat. It's going to increase circulation. It's very, very good for bone density, which is excellent for all of us.
Oh my goodness, that's another real hot topic these days too.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
If you don't know, can you tell us just a little bit? Stay there for a moment about that bone density.
Well, bone density is extremely important, and so many of us are losing that bone density somewhat because of our activity levels, and some of it is nutritionally. But, you think about it, at the end of the day, we're left with our skeleton and our muscles to hold that up.
Yes.
And you see so many elderly falling and so forth, and that just leads to much more, challenging health issues at the end of the day. So to be able to increase your bone density when you're younger, or even when you're older, is extremely, extremely important.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Absolutely. And the nutrition. Now, I know that I'm sorry. Do you want to say more about the machine?
I was just going to say.
Because I'm getting so excited. There's so many things that we still want to cover.
I absolutely love the machine. It's so therapeutic. I've helped a lot of people. It's great for people with neuromuscular issues, great for people who have scar tissue that needs to be broken up, great for people who are post-operative with joint issues and so forth. Being on that machine for 10 minutes is equivalent to you and I running for an hour.
Wow.
So it's really kind of nice. Now, it doesn't take the place of me encouraging the patients to exercise,
right.
okay? It just takes the place for their need to immediately leave here and run to a gym or go home and exercise.
It's like what you said. You're helping to maximize everything that you're
That's
doing
right.
is maximizing our success possibility.
That's right. And Anna Marie, when people come here, they usually come here because they've made a decision. They've made a decision because there's a good chance what they're doing isn't working, but yet they've made a decision to make some health changes. I take that quite serious. As much as we are a very relaxed environment, a fun environment, we take our work very serious. And if people are going to make the commitment to coming here and entrusting us to help them, I'm going to make the commitment to do everything I can to optimize on the treatments.
That's amazing. And that's why I wanted to get to one of the things that's exciting, one of the many things that's exciting about being here is both you and your husband, your medical background, all the research, the education you did on supplements, and how so important it is.
Yes.
People think, well, if we just eat right, we don't need supplements. That's not the case either, because we know our soil has been depleted.
That's right.
We know that, we always talk about shop on the outer rim of your grocery store and stay outside of the aisles, because it's all processed food. And when you were talking about bone density, isn't it true that you're the medical part, but I've understood that all this soda pop will strip away that. And then now we hear, for so long I was taking calcium, and calcium is not good for us, we hear, in so many ways. I don't know exactly. I'm just telling you what I've heard and what my path is. And that's why I'm excited about the machine, whatever it's called.
The
HyperVibe, because I want to strengthen my bones too. So tell us a little bit about your background in that and what you've come to.
Yeah, well, you know, as you mentioned, we've mentioned several times, my husband being a pharmacist and me being a nurse, you know, we actually brought supplementation into our home because of what you just said. You know, our food is not what it once was when our grandparents were eating it, but yet at the same time, our nutritional need is more now than ever. Your nutritional, your nutrition is the core of your health. And so many people have nutritional deficits. So what we have decided in our home is to supplement. We've been taking supplements for about 20 years now.
Wow,
yeah.
really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yes. And my husband is very into research, so he does a lot of the homework, as do I. And, you know, of course, you know, we have children that we supplement at home ourselves. And what we've done here is I sit in front of people. You know, people are more alike than they are different, Anna Marie.
Oh, yeah.
And they need our products, the same things we're supplementing in their home. So what we've decided to do is bring the supplements that we're using in our home to people's homes.
Wow.
Because if it's good enough for us, I think it might be good enough for you.
And that's really nice. I like it. For me, that's the little bit of the easy way out, because you've done all the research.
Yes.
And I know that you're using these different things, and I can benefit in the same way. So that's really, I like that. Because, you know, when you go to the store, there is so much to choose from, whether you're in a major supermarket now, that's been wonderful. They're offering things, and some of our health food stores. But you walk in there and it gets so confusing.
Yes.
And you don't know what is good and what isn't.
Yes, and also, having worked in poison control, I can tell you that just because something says it's natural doesn't mean it's safe. There's a lot of things to consider. Example, amounts, combinations, and vitamin C and vitamin C and vitamin C is not all vitamin C the same. There are different grades. So the products that we've decided to take in our home to keep ourselves healthy, so we're not our own patients someday.
There's another cute one.
we you know, look for very high grade products. Safety is our biggest concern, and certainly products that are efficacious, you know, things that actually work.
That actually work. Wow.
That's right.
Well, we're at the end of the program, and I just want to say that I am so happy to be here, and I have been following you for a while now on Facebook and on your website. So informative, and I'm very much looking forward to going and making my appointment. So thank you again, and I want to tell you, you've got the information now, and just as Teresa said, information is power, and then what do I always add? Only if you act on it. So keep those emails coming in, follow us on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, and remember that you could watch these programs a second time, a third time, a fourth time on YouTube, because your health matters.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Will from Mr. Frank's, and I'm a proud sponsor of Health Matters, and I am very motivated and inspired by all of the information that the show offers.
Hi, I'm Kim.
I'm Mitch from Pure Life Energy Saunas.
And together we are proud sponsors of Health Matters, a program that educates the community on how to be healthy, mind, body, and spirit. So follow us, because your health matters.
We want to thank Marge Reed from the Healing Spa. Marge is an ordained Unity minister. She has her BA in complementary health, and she's joined by her beautiful daughter Gina, who's a registered nurse. Together they bring us the latest technology in stemology, skincare, stem cell therapy, and holistic modalities for your body, mind, and spirit. Join Marge on Sunday mornings for her 11 a.m. service.